And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's October 1st. It's 2025. I'm 65 today. I squatted 300 pounds yesterday, though. Hope you're having a good day. By the way, as I have said to you, and I mean this, I turned 65 today. I don't feel a thing about it. And I'm rolling back. What do I mean by that? Just this is a little inspiration for you. I just read a story about a man that never worked out in his life and in the mid-70s decided to go on a rowing machine. He's now 93 and is setting all records for rowing. And when they tested his, what word am I looking for? Tested his lung usage, it was of a 40-year-old. So I have purposefully and specifically, indubitably, going forward, doubling and tripling up the working out. Just so you know, I raised weights this past week on purpose. I raised the weights on purpose. I have this universal machine at my house, and in the bench press, it's a sitting press. It goes up to, I think, 16. I put it down to 13. I haven't done that in ages. And I knocked out 8. I am determined because, hey, you know reality. I've met 50-year-olds that look 75. Don't take care of themselves. My recommendation for each and every one of you, take care of yourselves, especially as you get older. Your metabolism slows down, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard. 30-minute walk. If you can jog, even better. If you have an incline trainer where you can go up, even better. Lift weights 4 times a week. It doesn't have to be heavy. Do some squats, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups every day. It takes 10 minutes. Get rid of the frickin' alcohol. Drink Coke Zero if you have to drink soda, or Pepsi Zero. And you know what not to eat or how much. And take care of yourselves. You know, we travel a lot, and we're in airports. And I don't know if this makes any sense, but if I don't even know if I should say this, but if I see somebody that's much younger than me and way out of shape, I say to myself out loud, I'm going into the gym. And it's good for you too. So just letting you know, we used to actually tell you what our workouts were every day. I may have to do that for 30 seconds each day. Get you going. Get you inspired. Anyway, I am 65 today, and it's so weird. It is so darn weird. And let me state for the record again, if you need help as you get towards 65, if you need help, let me give you my friend from high school, Mario Bick. He's a genius with the Medicare. I'm saving thousands already. And Bick, insuranceconsultants.com, B-I-C-K, insuranceconsultants.com. Check out the website, give them a call. He doesn't know I'm saying that. I get nothing to say that, just letting you know. I just thought he did a great job. All right. Drugs. We'll introduce ourselves in a few minutes. By the way, Shana Tova to those that are celebrating Yom Kippur at the sundown tonight. I will not be doing the show tomorrow. Adam will be around. Phoenix, Arizona, KFNN. All the peeps there. I'm not even sure if we're on the air because the station's being sold. It is now well known, so I can say it. If we are not on the air and you're still listening, hey, keep listening. If we're on the air, Very simple. If you don't get this radio show in your city, GaryK.com. We'll post it there. We'll post it on our X feed. We post it very quickly. It's also on the YouTube channel of Biz TV, and we are upgrading the show. You're going to see me doing the show in the next couple of weeks, I think it's going to be. So do not forget. And that's just, we just want to thank Ron Cohen. What a mensch. What a good man. Always been there for us. Always generous. Always nice thing to say. We want to thank him big time. And we look for other radio stations, and you never know where we will pop up. How's that? Oh, by the way, in introductions, before we do the drug part of the show, if you do not get this radio show, no. Serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, jobs. The title of this show is Jobs WITHER. And whatever else comes to mind. Oh, the government shut down. Of course, it's the big lie. The government is not shut down. Most of the government is up. Though, listen, there's going to be furloughs and there's going to be people that are not getting paid until government's back up. We definitely feel for them. This is an outcome of the cretins and miscreants in the Republican and Democratic Party. Just keep in mind, they could have this done way in advance. It's all a scam. It's all a con. We're the marks. Just remember that. Just remember, they used to fight over debt ceilings. They used to fight over debt. They don't give a crap anymore. One totally doesn't give a crap, and the other one lies about giving a crap. Of course, it's the Republicans that lie about giving a crap. I saw Republicans on TV today. Yeah, we got to do something about the debt and deficits. You know what I said out loud to the people on TV? Go screw yourself. That's what I yelled out. They had such a chance to wipe out a bunch of Biden's scam of $1.8 trillion of the Inflation Reduction Act, where Biden by accident admitted there was no inflation reduction. Very easily could have knocked out 600 to 900 billion of that. And you know what they did? Nothing. And do you know why? Because if they know they cut down government spending, it hurts GDP. And if you have the worst GDP numbers, the next election. So screw the taxpayers, screw you. I also saw a pundit on the right today talk about how the economy's sizzling. And I'm thinking to myself, the jobs numbers, one of the numbers came out today, was down. So be careful what you hear. The left lies 100% of the time. The right, we'll call it about 85% of the time. And we hate saying it. We take no joy, but enough's enough. And you know how we know? We're heading to $38 trillion of debt now. They've spent $38 trillion that they weren't supposed to. And the job number, by the way, today, I got it here somewhere. I know I saw it somewhere. ADP employment change, actually minus 32,000. The estimate was 40,000. The prior month was revised down minus 3,000 from a gain of 54,000. So let me start out by saying the job market's withering. Now, I'm not throwing blame at anybody. It may be the AI thing. I keep reading every day about the next company that's firing 800 people because artificial intelligence. And I really don't know how that comes about because I'm a people person. But we're just letting you know the job market's withering. And I don't think it's an accident that I'm on this show telling you that the airlines, the cruise lines, the hotels, and the restaurant stocks are acting terribly. Because if the job market worsens, less people with jobs, they have to go on unemployment. Unemployment pays a lot less than what they're making. And what do? They sit around the table with the wife or the husband, and they talk about how much they're bringing in now. And maybe, just maybe, this Friday, instead of going out to dinner, we're going to eat in. Oh, that vacation, we were going to do 10 days. Let's only do 6. Oh, we were going to travel first class. Let's go coach. That's how it works. And when it builds up, it really affects the whole economy. So something we're watching very closely, the job market is not in good shape. In spite of Trump and this other guy out there saying the economy's sizzling, Trump said yesterday, it's the hottest economy we've ever had. No, it ain't. Up next, we'll continue with that. And then lots of market. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Welcome once again to Investor's Edge. By the way, they had another bozo conservative out I saw on TV talking about the tariffs are bringing in so much money. A conservative does not like higher taxes. They like lower taxes. So when a conservative says, oh, look at all that money being brought in, they're hypocrites. I guarantee you, if Joe Biden was doing the tariffs, the conservatives would be having fits. But since it's Trump doing the tariffs, oh, everything's great. Just letting you know. Tariffs are a tax on us, not them. Money is not coming into the country. It is staying in the country and going to the Treasury from our companies and to a certain extent, and we'll know in time, the consumer. And Trump keeps putting on new tariffs. Every day, something new. This week, furniture and lumber and this, that, and the other thing. And I know his means to an end. He wants manufacturing here. I hope it works. By the way, we're rooting for him. We're not like the TDS people that hate him. We're rooting for him. We just don't like higher taxes. And we don't like being conned. But we're rooting for him. We love what he's done at the border. Fantastic. A++++. People, he saved lives at the border. As we've told you, people were dying crossing the river. People were dying in the back of trucks. There's still a ton of missing children that the media never told you about. Love that. He's done a yeoman's job at least trying for peace around the globe. And yeah, he's embellished. Oh, I've stopped 7 wars. No, he hasn't. But he's knocked out a couple. And he's really trying hard with Hamas and Israel. But Hamas is never going to want peace. They like murdering people. They like raping women. You do understand that. They like marrying 8-year-old women. You know that. They like stringing gays up and stoning them to death. You know that, right? They're animals. They're never going to give in. But I'm heartbroken. If there's one person that praises them, it sickens me. That one person, if they were at that festival a couple October 7th ago, they would have been murdered. Do you know I saw a gay person being interviewed the other day that said, yeah, I know that if I met Hamas, they would murder me because I'm gay. But I'm still backing them. I actually saw that video. I don't know what's going on out there, but I got to tell you, there's going to be a bull market. The biggest bull market ever. In straitjackets, rubber rooms, and psychologists. And do you know in Britain, they are putting British people in jail if they say something untoward on the web like, I'm British and I'm staying British. If they carry the British flag while Muslims are parading and calling for free Palestine, they get arrested. There's a lot of topsy-turvy going on out there, ladies and gentlemen. We shall keep you informed. It's quite weird. But drugs. I just have to let you know, drugs. The president, and I'm still perplexed. The president announces yesterday this deal with Pfizer. And what they're going to be doing is, and I don't know how it's going to work, and I gather it'll take some time, and I love this from the president, that there's going to be favored nation status for drugs, meaning no longer are you going to find out that pill in Canada is $8 a pill, $2 a pill, but in the United States it's $8. For now on, whatever the lowest is around the world, that's what you're going to get in the United States. And Pfizer's doing that, and I gather other drug companies are going to have to line up the same way. And I saw the news, and I'm like, terrific. The cost of pharmaceuticals is going to come down. Not all drugs, but a whole host of them. That is terrific. What I don't understand, and somebody sent me something on it, and I read it, and it still didn't make any sense to me. Eli Lilly. Yesterday morning was $725. It's $825 today. $725 to $825. Amgen, big biotech, $274 to $298. AbbVie, yesterday morning, $222 to $244. That's 10%. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, a biotech that has been murdered, $555 to $599. United Therapeutics, another biotech, let's say $417 to $438. Lower beta type stuff, AstraZeneca, $74 to $84. Merck, one of my poster children of bear markets, $78 to $90. This is from the announcement yesterday to the close today. Now, any of you are obviously a lot smarter than me. If you can email me and tell me why would you think these things would be up 10 to 20% off of that announcement, I want to know what you think. Because I've been reading about it, and nobody's been able to explain to me what's the 20% bid in these drug companies when potentially, more than likely, they're going to be charging less for them drugs in the United States. You catching my drift? In any case, maybe, didn't we tell you in recent days that the percentage of healthcare to the market was like way below the median, while the percentage of technology was way above? Maybe it's just a reversion to the mean. Don't know. The only thing I do know is a hell of a move in the drug stocks. Lesser extent, medical stuff. I will tell you there's been a few medical research or medical product companies that boom. How about Thermoelectron? Let's see. Yesterday, 460 to 530 in 2 days. They do optical spectroscopy instruments. Say that 10 times fast. And all kinds of other crap. Unbelievable move in the medicals. A lot of them. Email me if you know what the hell's going on, because I don't. Up next, what else we're seeing? Lots. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. So we start out with the drug thing. I'm perplexed. I saw analysts give reasons and not one of them made any sense. If I sell a product and I have to, because of whatever reason, I have to sell it at a lower price, and I'm not going to be selling more of it, I don't know why my stock would go up. That's just me. Okay. I-95 goes north and south. So let's say you're starting on I-95 at, let's see, what's that? Is it Valdosta, Georgia? and you have one car facing north and one car facing south. I think this is a good analogy. And let's presume those cars represent stocks. And let's presume pretty much in the same industry, those stocks. And better yet, let's start at Washington, D.C. Or do I want to go lower than that? No, Washington, D.C. And the car going south starts heading south. And no, it's a stock or stocks. And then the car going north starts heading north. And those stocks heading south just keep heading south. And keep heading south. But those stocks heading north keep heading north. And keep heading north. And keep heading north. Where the stocks heading north and heading south separate themselves by a gargantuan margin, even though they're kind of sort of in the same group. Technology. I know there's a wide swath of tech, but let's assume it's kind of close. Well, we're just letting you know. In technology, we have separated the good from the bad. And man, the good keep getting gooder. And the bad keep getting badder. Stocks that we had moved from our good screen to our bad screen are not just going down. They are imploding. I mean, imploding. And we'll leave out the names, but there's a lot of software. There's a lot of tech, internet types, pay things. They're just crumbling. But then on the other end is you have, because of recent announcements, and leave no doubt, recent announcements, semiconductor equipment. We've mentioned the symbols to you: AMAT, KLAC, LRCX, ASML, Micron, MU, Taiwan Semi, TSM. They have gone just about vertical with nary a stop in between. I think they stopped for a few days and had a monster day again today. I'm talking 4-5% moves, 3 to 5% moves on those names. Yet as I look to my left, Duolingo down 18, MSCI down 15, Monday.com down 9, Mercado Libre down 160, Nice Systems down 5, ServiceNow down 8. How about Wix, WIX down 24? How about HubSpot down 27, GoDaddy down 5, DocuSign down 3 and change, S&P Global down 5, T-Mobile down 6, Team down 10, Zebra Tech down 6, Paycom down 9, Reddit, which just recently topped, down 27. We're just letting you know, the good is getting gooder and the bad is getting bludgeoned. And that's the story. The semiconductor equipment, the data storage and disk drive companies, and you got a few new things showing up. Dell Computer breaks out today. Vertiv, one of the data center things, breaks out today. Microsoft is trying to move above this recent range and getting going again. NVIDIA edged above range, ain't really bombing to the upside, but trying to move out of range. Tesla, talk about the good getting gooder. That broke out its 360 to 370. 3 weeks later, it's 460. That's $100 move. So the good gooder, the bad badder. That's the story. Amazingly. And I have to tell you, we're always big believers of knowing your stocks. Know your stocks. How do they trade? I don't think I've ever seen the semiconductor equipment stocks do what they're doing, but it's off of that news about how much supposedly is going to spend, which leaves me saying, as always being a skeptic, all that spending talk better come through. I will tell you this much. The market absolutely believes it's coming through. But next, talk about the bad getting badder. Big names. Meta, Facebook, broke the 50-day 4 days ago, further below it. The 50-day moving average is now above at around almost 760. It's 717, down $17 today with a strong NASDAQ day. And Netflix, down 28 today with volume. Living below the 50-day. You want to know why? You know how the right says the left is woke? Because the left always protesting and shutting down. Oh, I'm not going to buy for you anymore, buy from you anymore. There's a whole big thing about a bunch of, I guess Elon Musk put out something that he is canceling his Netflix. And I'm just not going to get into why. But everybody's following him. Supposedly a crap load of people shut down their Netflix today. That was the story. You can look it up. I don't want to comment on that. I just want to talk about the action in the market. But now the right isn't the right now woke? What are you shutting down the Netflix because somebody did something? Anyway. And again, we're not making the comment what Netflix did. Don't email us. We have our own opinions on things. We're just talking about what the stock did and who's doing what. That's moving that. Also, remember we said yesterday about the financials. Well, BlackRock down 25 today, American Express down another 3, Goldman down 10, JP Morgan down 4 and change, Morgan Stanley down 2, Wells Fargo's down 3, Blackstone down 3, regional banks rolling over. So just letting you know that's going on. That's going on, and that was a weight on the Dow today. Dow was only up 43, but the NASDAQ 95 and the NASDAQ 100 up 120 off of the semiconductors. The stocks up a juicy 2%, 130 today off of those semiconductor equipment companies that, for me, just rates a big wow. Just rates a big wow. Out of the norm. Stunning move. And we have a few other stocks starting to show up on our screen. And then in 3 weeks, earnings. That'll be fun. Hey, up next. This, that, and the other thing, and whatever else. This is the one only Investor's Edge. Dun-dun-dum. Ba-da-dum. Bum. Yeah, it says the healthcare sector saw another day of impressive gains following yesterday's headline catalyst. Pfizer and peers continue to rise after yesterday's announcement of Trump RX, a government-run platform to lower drug costs. Under the initiative, Pfizer will reduce Medicaid prices, invest $70 billion in U.S. R&D in exchange for a 3-year tariff reprieve. Ooh, I missed that part. Huh. Okay. But I want to get back to the jobs. So I don't know, was it about 2 weeks ago? I'm going to guess 2 weeks. For the first time in a while, I had said to you, yeah, we're a little bit worried about how the airlines and cruise lines and hotels look. We had already been yelling and screaming about avoiding the restaurants for quite a while. And for lack of a better word, a bunch of restaurant stocks have crashed. 50, 60% is a crash, don't you think? Well, since the cruise lines, the hotels, the airlines have done nothing more than go south, some worse than others. The restaurants have worsened, amazingly so. And every now and then you get a bounce. Wingstop was up 10 today, but it just dropped $120. That's not a good recipe. Drop 120, rally 10. Let's hope it continues. And then we keep getting these job numbers. They're worsening. They're not getting better. The president's wrong. The economy's not sizzling if we're losing jobs now. And that's a fluid number. We know that can change. And let's hope it does. But we're just letting you know it is really big time something to watch. It has to be watched. The consumer is 70% of the economy. And we know for ages, all we hear is consumer is still spending and still spending and still spending. And that's true. Are the airlines, cruise lines, hotels, and restaurants now telling us something? And now the news is coming out. Gotta watch this. Because as we said earlier, and we're just 1 + 1 = 2. It is pretty simple. People that are not losing their job, but are worried about losing their job, or seeing others lose their job in their industry, will tend to pull back. And as we said to you, what will they pull back on? The discretionary stuff. The stuff that is not a necessity. They may look at a cheaper car. They may not take that vacation or take less of one. And we're seeing it. The strongest cruise line is Royal Caribbean, strongest stock. Just gone from 366 to 316 before you say boo. Carnival announces earnings. Opens up at 32.5, closes at 29.5. It's now 28.30. The hotels, they're just topped out. Not the end of the world. 10% drops are no big deal. But you know how bear markets work. They start with tops. But then there's also the restaurants. If anything's discretionary, it's going out to eat. I've got one restaurant stock that I can say is holding up. And that's not a bull market. The restaurant stocks are getting mauled. Shake Shack just went from $144 and change in July to $91.60. While we're being told the economy is sizzling. Texas Roadhouse, $200 to $162. Chipotle, well, that was $67 10 months ago. It's $39 today. It was $58 in July. Speaking of job firings, Starbucks just announced they're shutting a ton of places, and of course, that's jobs. 117 to 84. So this is on watch. We already know about the rails and truckers aren't strong except for a buyout. And they deliver stuff. We also know about FedEx and UPS, though I think Amazon's been kicking them in the teeth. This all has to be watched. Because I got news for you. Financials are getting a little squirrely. And we don't want to be in a position where there's only a few games in town in the market that go vertical, because that's an end game in the market when it narrows down. So just letting you know. But great day today for what's good. A horrible day today for what's bad. The good got gooder, the bad got badder. And that semiconductor land, I have to say it again. All that noise about what's going to be spent, which goes right down to the line of semiconductor equipment, that better come through. I hope it does. Happy Yom Kippur. We'll be gone tomorrow. We'll be back Friday. You all have a great evening. Drive carefully when you get home. Do like we do. It's simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise they will be well. Thanks for joining. And to the peeps in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Ron Cohen and the rest, we dig you. Thanks for everything. Good night.